All right, good morning. Doing my podcast. I'm behind on a lot because I shut down a lot because of my ex and how things were supposed to play out that did not. He always protected the monsters. He became the very monster he was afraid of. And I've been talking about it. My son, who's an attorney, has incredible willpower to survive the Raymond family, the Lackey James family, in the Hobson family, anybody else, who he was surrounded by that did him dirty and was not there to support him, as well as the other children that are there growing up in the madness and speaking out to the public about it, if ever and whenever they do. I'm aware of the reality show. I have not seen it. I did not want to see it because it's hard to look at. It's hard to look at what you still live in, which they painted me a poverty story. I am not the poverty story. I am the winner. And I built all of this. Dynasty, empire. So how am I the poverty story? But this is the gatekeepers gatekeeping. The trend. And I got the crown to that. Far as record exec, far as having insight and information and proof and evidence. There could be other people that can walk up beside me or step in front of me and say the same thing. You're welcome to join the platform. The most beautiful thing about being victimized is that God always sends a witness. He sends a witness. He sends many witnesses. Spirit of our Lord tells us to have witnesses so that when someone come up and defame us and against the accuser, that this is what we'll have to present. And thank God that he's given me just that. When I was butt naked, no clothes on, pee, water from being in alligator swamps, snake swamps. I don't know who took me out of those swamps. I remember a hand, a face. I remember a woman. Before that, I remember many people in a field fighting me and a male, and you know him well. Some of you know of him, some of you don't know him at all, but you know of the name and the face and the artistry. And something like a Super Bowl that he just did. Canceling Cardi B was nothing more than a smear campaign against my integrity. The jealousy of his new wife. Nothing but a smear campaign because she's so jealous of my power. And my power that hit back is pretty hard. And it will continue to hit because they started it first. One thing about a queen, I don't have to stoop low. I can snap my finger or I can just merely send a request and it be done. That's the power of a queen. That's the power of anybody who has power, of an ambassador, of somebody who has leverage, of someone who has favor. You cannot have money. You cannot be famous. You can just have favor by somebody, whether it's the wrong way, whether it's sick and twisted, whether it's right. It's many ways that power can come. Just go and do some research on it. And no, don't believe everything that you Google. But maybe sometimes call up an attorney out of nowhere. Call up a therapist out of nowhere. Call up people who have been through these things in storybooks and movies. Contact their management. Learn some things. That's how I learned. And a lot of people tell you, well, you can't reach this person because they're on a celebrity status. You can't reach this person because you're not in the industry or where they are. I've heard it all. But guess what? I broke those barriers. And I found the research that I needed to find. I found the insight that I needed to find. And I became who I became on my own. Willpower. Faith in God. And let me track my words. God allowed me to become who I became because of faith. Now that's rightfully said. Keep that on repeat. The Spirit of the Lord gives us wisdom. Here's the thing about being controversy. Well, a lot of people say that I'm being. And I've proven that I don't have a reason to be. I don't have a reason to go after the new wife. I don't have to have a reason to go after ex-girlfriends or baby mamas. I don't have a reason because I've been that chick. I've been that queen. I'm still that queen. I've been that wife that ruled the longest, that stayed there the longest. To my knowledge, unless you prove me wrong, then I can't help what I don't know. All these songs that he sends out to degrade me and to humiliate and to embarrass me. When a man, like, I don't mean to bring up this family, but they're another powerful family in the world, and they are very good friends of mine. I don't understand why I haven't seen them, and if I have, I didn't realize that it was them. Forgive me. The Kardashians. Very important to the Cardi B, to Chantel, to Sony Sonia, working in the music business, building theatrical background as a talent buyer, record exec, songwriter, choreographer, filmmaker, film score, critics, and etc. Them collaborating, protecting each other, any means necessary, speaking and representing each other, any means necessary, real relationships. And we still respect and love each other today. And I have missed out on children getting together and playing and pregnancy moments sharing. There's members of each and every family that we're not proud of over there and over here on my side. I held down that Raymond name forever, but I could not use that Raymond name because I protected it. He got offended because Janita was in his head. Other people was in his head. Maybe the devil came in his head, but Diddy definitely was in his head. Oh, yeah. Not only was he in his head, he was in him. It was on him. He was him. And it's not fair because he affected and infected each and every last one of us beyond our control. I've been telling him to fight back. I would continue to tell him to fight back. And the most tripped out part about this is, even though a lot of people out there are my enemies, I will not protect them. They're ops. But there will come a point where I am still fighting on their behalf. I know, right? Mind-boggling. I have to. And I said this on a phone call last year, and I believe the year before that, is that we have to put aside the differences. But see, there's a specific type of persons who are ignorant and whose demeanor is not of a queen, not of a king, not of a prince or a princess. You'll never understand what that's like because you have to have a special character. You have to have a special personality and spirit and mindset. This is why everybody can't be a royal family member. This is why everybody can't be adopted in the royal family member, whether by marriage or some children you got to send away because they talk too much. They doing stuff on purpose. They could be under spellbound. And I believe that's happening in my very own family, in my very own children. This man came along and he turned my children against me, spellbound them. It's so easy how you can do it. One of the ways you can ring the phone and you get their phones and contaminate it and keep ringing their phones. If they don't understand why the phone keep ringing or somebody keep coming after them or following them or even befriend them or even become a lover or interest. I'm telling y'all, you can put it in your food. You can show up as a cook. They can meet them at the doctor's. They can meet them at the hair salon. Plant spell rituals on them. I'm telling y'all, the magic world, when I did some investigation and research, tripped me out. How the devil can get you. And I did this research and I got into witchcraft research and chakra research because of my biological dad, who's never there as a supporter. He was never there as child supporter, who was never there to support us, me and my mother, nor my brother, Jeremiah Roof, who is a pope. He's not a pope member, but, you know, that's the name. But you would think they are because I believe he's Catholic. I think they Pentecostal. They say these people get into religion they don't understand, but that's another story and no offense to my family.